I don't know about you guys, but I've read and watched everything about Heartstopper. Since I love the books, I was so excited when they announced the show is in production, and I've been watching it since then. Now, I got even more exciting news. Season 4 won't be an 8-episode season, but instead we'll get a movie. And now, we even have an official title, Heartstopper Forever. In other words, we need to buckle up for a story that will stay with us forever. So, let's dive in. As you may remember, last time we saw Nick and Charlie, they were really happy. As a couple, they have this amazing love for each other, and it feels like they can handle everything together. But, as individuals, not everything was smooth sailing. Charlie was dealing with a lot, with his anxiety and eating disorder. He was lucky to have Nick because Nick was literally the perfect boyfriend. He was worried about Charlie and always there for him. After he found out that Charlie had an eating disorder, he became even more supportive. And let me tell you something, the only reason Charlie got through this situation more easily than he normally would is the fact that he had someone like Nick by his side. That being said, we have to realize that things were tough for Nick too, especially because he was so worried and Charlie was away getting treatment. He felt alone, and we saw that he really missed Charlie. He was also stressed about university. Here is the thing. In Nick's mind, going to the university is like abandoning Charlie, but as Elle said, he has to think about his future and has to choose the best option for himself before anyone else. He had been looking at the University of Kent, and he really liked it when they visited there. However, this does not necessarily mean that all his concerns got wiped away. In fact, it seems like him having second thoughts about the university seems to be one of the main themes of the upcoming movie, especially after he realizes that they are 4.5 hours apart. Okay, real long-distance victims know that 4 hours is basically nothing. I mean, some people have oceans between them. But, for a 17-year-old, I admit it can be rough. And this leads us to the plot of the movie. We know that they're inseparable, but Nick is preparing to leave for university, and Charlie will be the head student. So, as I mentioned, long distance will begin to weigh on them. Doubts take hold and their relationship will face its biggest challenges. We saw Charlie dealing with anxiety before, but how about Nick? In the movie, we'll see him struggling between his new life as a university student and his relationship that awaits him at home. He will hang out with his new friends. He'll be busy with his exams. He'll want to go and see Charlie, but things will come up. So, no matter how hard he tries, he wouldn't be able to resist the natural progression of things, which will lead them to grow apart, slowly but surely. But the biggest challenge is not the long-distance part. Believe me. Remember when I said there'll be doubt over their relationship as well? Let me elaborate that a bit more. It is already announced that we'll have new cast members in the movie since Nick will have friends in university. I mean, when you, as a young, good-looking man, enter into a new environment and make new friends, it is inevitable to get some romantic attention as well. So, the behind-the-scene rumors suggest that there'll be someone new in Nick's life who'll see him as more than just a friend. But we know Nick, and I can assure you that he won't be doing something that'll upset Charlie. They just love each other so much. Even though we know he'll be careful, Charlie won't like the fact that there's someone who likes him. With all the long-distance doubts and being alone at school, he'll feel bad again. And I'm sorry to say that, but he'll relapse. He won't be telling Nick about it because he wouldn't want Nick to worry. I know he always has Tori by his side, but she has a boyfriend now, so the things can be a little different now. Thankfully, he's getting therapy, but since we know that he can't go to his mother and wouldn't want to disturb Tori now that she's kind of feeling things, it will be hard for him to go through this on his own. I hope that Tao and Isaac will be there for him this time. Since Elle is thinking about studying in Europe, they'll also have a long-distance relationship, and that means Tao will have more time, and since both their partners will be away, it'll be good for them to be there for each other, because believe me, it'll be hard. Besides that, the challenges that their friends have to go through was also mentioned in the plot. It goes, meanwhile, Nick and Charlie's friends are also navigating the ups and downs of love and friendship, confronting the bittersweet challenges of growing up and moving on. Since we have the moving on phrase in the end, do you think one of them will break up in the movie? We know that it won't be Charlie and Nick since Alice Oseman, aka the writer of the book series, has always said that they stay together forever. And this explains why the title is Heartstopper Forever. That's why I think Tara and Darcy will be the ones who are going to break up. Tara already has a busy schedule, and it won't be different when she goes to university. And Darcy is still exploring herself, so they won't have time for each other. But I don't want anyone to break up, and even if they do, I hope they get back together in the end. Now, we can talk about the release date. They started filming the movie on June 23rd, and it took them 35 days to wrap it. And Alice Oseman announced that we'll have the movie in 2026 with this video.
Heartstopper Forever!
From what I've heard, we can watch it in early 2026, and that means we'll get the trailer by December. While we're waiting for it, you can check the video on the screen, and don't forget to follow for more Heartstopper content.